think Opetaia wins clearly.
I suspect he's going to be better because, like you said, I think he's got more room to improve because of his age.
Sorry, I've seen Briedis take like clean shots.
And obviously he's been around, he's very experienced, so he knows all the tricks.
I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think he might want to try and knock him out.
It's not an easy task.
No, because if he wins this, it's big things ahead for him, Opetaia.
But I don't think knockouts. I think it's going to be a points decision.
Yeah.
Welcome back to BoxCast. Today we are going to be discussing the upcoming fight at Cruiserweight between Jai Opetaia and Mairis Briedis. It's Volume 2, the rematch.
Yeah, rematch.
Again for a belt because the IBF doing the IBF games took the belt off Opetaia, who won it off Briedis, who was the holder.
Is this for the IBF belt though this time?
It's the vacant IBF Cruiserweight belt. And ring.
But I take it off him anyway.
Well, exactly. That was my point I was making.
Don't get me started on that.
So it should have been Opetaia's champion, IBF Cruiserweight, but it's the vacant between the former champion and who should be the current champion. Let me do the tail of the tape. Let's go. It's Opetaia is 24 for 0-0, so he's 24 wins out of 24 fights. Briedis is pretty impressive record as well. He's got 28 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws. He's had 30 fights. Opetaia has 19 of his 24 wins by KO. Briedis has 20 of his 30 by KO. Opetaia is 28. Briedis is 39. Opetaia is 6'3", 191 centimeters, and Briedis is 6'1", 186 centimeters. In terms of reach, Opetaia has a slight advantage. He's 76 inches and 193 centimeters. And Briedis is 74.8 inches, 190 centimeters. In terms of weight, they're normally near the limit. So as of the last fight, Opetaia was 198.4 pounds, which is about 90 kilos. And Briedis was just slightly more at 199 pounds, 90.3 kilos. Opetaia is a southpaw and Briedis is orthodox. And this is for the IBF Cruiserweight and Ring Cruiserweight Championships. And again, it's on the undercard of the small heavyweight match, Fury and Usyk, at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia on the 18th of May, 2024. So Simon, what's your thoughts on this rematch? The first one was epic.
First one was a great fight.
Did you see the interview trying to interview Opetaia at the end with Opetaia had a broken jaw? Yeah. So what do you think of it?
No, it was a good fight, the first one. I don't
close fight. Opetaia came through.
I don't think this one's going to be a close fight though.
I think Opetaia does this one.
I think the problem is Briedis hasn't fought since that fight.
Yeah,
and he's 39.
Yeah, he's coming to the end, isn't it? Opetaia is a rising star in this division. And
I think Opetaia would have learned more from the first fight than Briedis would have learned.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they both learned a lot, but I think Opetaia
would have improved more from
younger to improve, whereas I think Briedis, and don't get me wrong, Briedis is a hell of a fighter. I'd say Briedis is give Alexander Usyk his closest ever fight.
Yeah.
And some people had it in Briedis' favour.
Yeah.
It was really, I think it was only on the judges' scorecards against Usyk. I think it was one round either way, to be honest.
Well, I think it was like 114-14, 113-15, 113-15. So basically one round swing, really.
Yeah.
It's a split decision.
And that was he's a wily old coyote is Briedis.
He's a tough guy.
He's
never
a tough
been knocked out.
No, I don't think he's never been knocked down, has he?
I don't think so, yeah. And obviously he's been around, he's very experienced, so he knows all the tricks. He is a wily old fox.
He really is.
Tough guy. So it's a good fight. I mean, like his record says, isn't it? It's only, I think his loss is only Usyk and Opetaia, which isn't like shameful to have those two on your...
No, I think...
And close fights in both of them.
I think the Opetaia one was in Australia, wasn't it?
Yeah.
like I say, it was a war. I mean, and fair dues to Opetaia for carrying. You know, we had a broken jaw, man. And
it's ridiculous. He's a beast.
But I think the only thing that I hope Opetaia doesn't go in there thinking this is going to be easy.
Well, we'd hope not, considering how hard the first fight is. I mean, I suspect he's going to be better because, like you said, I think he's got more room to improve because of his age from the experience. And because Briedis isn't going to be getting any faster or any
Briedis ain't going to get any faster.
But I mean, you know, and I'm not sure what you could improve in your game plan. It was just Opetaia.
I think Opetaia, might. I think he might want to try and knock him out, and if he does that, he might.
It's not an easy task.
No, and that might be his downfall, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is a consummate professional. Though I think he's in for a hard 12 rounds. Where
been,
but Briedis has been inactive, hasn't he? You know, it is 2 years.
I mean, I would expect Opetaia to win because, like, he's been more active. He's younger. He should have improved a reasonable amount from there, and he's got both. He's got the boxing skill and the thing. He doesn't have to go for a knockout. He can box.
Yeah.
I think against this guy, that's probably more sensible plan. If you get the opportunity, but I think otherwise, it's boxing and a bit clearer than like people have done before against Briedis, so be clearer victory. Because he should have more gas in the tank. He's fresher. He's more active, like we've said. So,
but again,
he's got a little bit of height and
experience, you know.
But we've seen these in it where they go out under the shield. They just don't give up.
But I think,
Nonito Donaire did it too.
I mean, I think 39.
But do you think he's had his one? Is this going to be like winning away foot Donaire the second time where it goes?
Yeah, I mean, I think
although Briedis is tough.
Yeah, I mean, he's 39
The
now.
old Lions had his last proper fight.
And I think
he's still capable of beating a lot of people at cruiserweight. I just think Opetaia is that class above.
But I think Opetaia would have learned
freshness
a lot more.
Yeah.
He really would have learned a lot more from that first fight, and he'll adapt better than Briedis.
Yeah. Well, he should have got the timing and then worked out what the things are now, and obviously defensively.
And he's been more active as well, Opetaia.
Well, we like Opetaia because he's quite active. Although
he's only had 4 rounds or something. He hasn't had many
very impressive rounds, but not many of them. But we can't really blame him. I think that was a bit more the level of opponent.
Because if he wins this, it's big things ahead for him, Opetaia.
I think he has to win, and then that's like the sort of the end of like Briedis' reign. But he's had very, very, very good.
Very good, yeah. He's got a good career.
And I think this is the opportunity for then Opetaia to take over that division, or at least attempt to. There's a few people in it that are quite good, though. Although I think he's the best of the bunch.
I think. Do you remember me saying months ago, the winner of Beterbiev Bivol fight Opetaia?
Well, that's been bandied around.
And I still think that happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think if whoever wins between Beterbiev and Bivol, there's not really anything left.
Exactly.
At light
so where do you go?
Do you fight?
Where do you go? You've got to move
unless
up
there's unless it's close and a rematch. After that, there's not really anywhere that you can go. So
no, I mean, I heard Eddie Hearn saying,
they can't really get smaller because they're both very lean. And
the only ones you've got are Canelo, which.
Well, if Munguia beats him, then that goes out the window. So.
Or he's the other guy. Do you know?
Benavides would be the one because he could probably come up to their weight.
Yeah. But from what I've heard, it's the winner will be moving up and fighting.
Going to Opetaia. Well, I think the two is Opetaia or Benavides because Benavides doesn't seem to be getting the Canelo fight anytime soon, and Canelo sort of just dismissed it.
Yeah.
So I think it's realistic. He's got to move. So I think, he could be a tough challenge for those guys, and Opetaia is obviously a tough challenge because he's a big,
he's a
beast.
Yeah,
he's a big beast.
But I like this fight for Opetaia as well. I like the first fight because I thought it was a good.
You've got to have those challenges in your career, isn't it?
For him.
Yeah,
and he come through it. He did. It was a good, solid,
with a broken jaw,
12-round fight, and he didn't gas. He looked, and if a lot of people saying, "Oh, Opetaia might be hyped up." Mate, you're not hyped up if you've Briedis is a tough customer.
Yeah, Briedis is a very, very good fighter.
He really, really is.
A wily old fox and tough as nails.
Ask Usyk, because Usyk will tell you. He gave Usyk kittens, telling you.
Well, it's like you said, it was basically just one round either way,
yeah, and it was one round.
One was a draw, and then it was a split decision.
I think
that's what I had. If I'm wrong, we will double check it. But it was a very close fight.
But no, this is going to be.
I mean, the only thing is, if he was younger, then this is really a big fight. I think it's because Briedis is a bit older. It's the chance, but he's not been knocked out. He's not been battered and beaten. It's close losses. So they're both very, very good fighters. Just I think that Opetaia's on the way up and Briedis on the way down.
I don't think Opetaia stops him, but I think Opetaia wins clearly.
I think it'll be a bigger margin of victory this time. Yeah. But I don't think knockouts. I think it's going to be a points decision. Yeah. Which would be quite good. We get to see 12 rounds of good boxing.
Yeah.
I think unless there's an opening or Briedis gets gasses out and then Opetaia can take him. But I don't see either of them happening.
Like I say, I've seen Opetaia I've seen Briedis take like clean shots.
And he just keeps going.
Yeah, it's a bit.
He's got a bit like that Canelo chin.
Yeah,
and he just keeps going. Or like
wow, Triple G.
Yeah,
and he's just like, oh my god.
I think this is points, but a bit clearer points victory because of the youth.
It's a great undercard fight, though.
Yeah.
It's a undercard fight.
A-list fight in itself, but
and
as a second fight is brilliant.
Yeah, if you enjoyed the first one, I think.
Just be an enjoyable fight. It's a good really warm up to the main event. It's like a very good, what is it, the appetizer for the main event. And like we should get 12 rounds of boxing, so because some of the others might get a bit shorter, but I think this one will be the full 12 rounds, which would be good. And I think it's an excellent the appetizer for the main event. Yeah. There's a couple of other fights on the undercard.
Quite impressed by this undercard,
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't going to be.
But we've been on and on other than obviously because we had Opetaia Briedis, we weren't that worried. But
but I thought it was going to be like one of them Las Vegas ones, where like you have the main event and then 5 utterly crap fights underneath.
Just because the main event sells all the thing.
But no, I mean I don't think His Highness does things like that.
It does things properly.
Well, they got 5, 6 events on the card.
I think they've got a few of the smaller fights, and then there's about 4 or 5 main fights. Well, if you include this one, 5 main fights, isn't it? Let me just bring it up while you're talking. Go on.
So you have, obviously, Fury Usyk, Opetaia Briedis.
So that's a world title fight as well.
Yeah, that's a world title fight. I think they're all, I don't think there's 3 world title fights, isn't there?
I think there's Cordina and Khakachi.
That's a tough fight for Joe Cordina.
Is it not
but it's a good test. Good one for him.
Let me bring it up.
I've got another big heavyweight fight on there as well, which I'm really looking forward to.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. That's one we wanted to discuss.
Really exciting heavyweight fight.
Let me just get this up. So, obviously the main event, the appetizer of Opetaia and Briedis, which we're talking about now. There's Cordina and Khakachi, which is the super featherweight, I think, world title fight.
Yeah.
And then, not a title fight, but a heavyweight fight between Sanchez and Caballel, who were both very impressive in the last Saudi event. Let me just bring up the records and stuff. Yeah, this is really interesting one. Yeah, there's no belts. It's an eliminator for the WBC World Heavyweight thing. They're both 24-0-0-0. They're both 31. Sanchez is 6'4". Caballel is 6'3", so they're about the same. They're both orthodox. They both obviously had 24 wins. Sanchez is 17 by KO. Caballel is 16 by KO, so nearly the same. They've had about the same amount of rounds, 110 for Sanchez, 180. It is very, very proper 50-50 fight, this one.
And I tell you what, the winner of this gets catapulted.
Yeah, I think they're in that conversation, aren't they? The
catapulted.
Top of the pile.
And don't be aware of these two guys because they're good fighters.
They were both very
and
good.
They're like all these heavyweights, above them. They should be keeping one eye on this fight because I tell you what,
They're just in their prime. On 31, they're at the right age.
Really has impressed me his last few fights.
Well, everybody expected him to get beat in that fight, didn't they? That he was the fodder, and it was completely the other way around.
And Joshua's even said Caballel is a really good boxer.
Yeah.
A really good boxer.
Well, he showed that.
So, yeah, you need to keep an eye out on these guys. And Frank Sanchez, he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders. You know, he's coming up. He's
from the Cuban school of boxing.
Exactly.
So he's not exactly a bad boxer. I think this is exactly a 50-50 fight. I think they've both got
and I tell you,
exciting.
They'll be an avoided fighters, these two.
Yeah.
I think they have been avoided fighters as well. I think they're in the who's who.
Well, I hadn't seen Caballel before that fight, and then you look at him going, what?
Mate,
Where did you come from? And he's been fantastic.
Well, I heard of Caballel because I did an interview a couple of years ago about Joshua talking about him, saying he was a really, really good amateur.
I'd heard of Sanchez, so we expected him to win, and he was good. But Caballel, I'd heard the name, but I haven't seen him. And
he's got that tip. He's like I say, you like see your Daniel Dubois, your Joe Parkers, your Anthony Joshua's. You need to look out.
I think they could give them all. The winner of these will give them a fight.
And do you know what? All these two need is just a little catapult to have the name. Because at the moment they're not in the conversation, and it's not because of their record, because their records are fantastic. It's just because that they've gone unknown.
Yeah.
So if they get a bit of...
Well, I think the winner of them, that's a really tough fight, it's a really close fight. The winner of them, then they deserve to be. And they're on the card. Why have I gone back?
Yeah, I mean...
So...
And they seem to be a bit of a Saudi favourite. This is the second time that they're coming on a card.
The performance was good. I mean, especially Caballel. Yeah. Caballel's was the icing on the cake performance. That was the best. And it was unexpected performance because I think a lot of people, because you'd heard of the other guy.
And he was fighting someone that everyone was avoiding.
Who looks like,
everyone was avoiding. Who looks like
from the
Arnold Schwarzenegger on steroids. Times 2.
With the same expression on his face.
Yeah.
And he basically made him look like an amateur.
And
destroyed him, basically.
Yeah, destroyed him. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. Really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be absolutely.
See,
fantastic.
I'm divided now on which is the most exciting out of them because realistically, this could be the best fight.
Well, the Joe Cordina fight, do not discount that either because that's a really exciting fight.
I'll bring that up. 1 sec.
If you want to go through that,
that's the IBF World Junior Lightweight Championship. So. Yeah, well, Cordina's unbeaten 17 fights, 17 wins, and Khakachi is 21 wins and 1 loss. He's a bit older, so they're
a tough fight,
but And
I like Joe Cordina. He's a
good boxer,
good man.
So there's a few good fights on there.
Yeah, but
there's 4 good fights on there, really, isn't it? And then...
I'd say the Caballel-Sanchez fight excites me.
But that could be the most exciting of the whole lot.
From the whole...
we look forward to the main event,
obviously. The main event, but I'd say I'm still a little bit more excited.
Like a neutral, if you were doing just unboxing, levels, I think that fight, because the skill level and the
again,
of those two guys, they're so close.
It's it's another 50-50 fight. I can't pick a winner. I know you're going to make me pick a winner.
You're going to pick first, and I'm going to pick the other guy. So who do you want? You got our Cuban maestro and our German maestro.
Going on the Cordina fight, I think Joe Cordina wins point decision.
I would agree with that. Yep.
I think he's just going to be too young, too fresh, too skillful. But it's going to be...
I think that's going to be close, but
it's a tough fight for him.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of them fights where it could be a wide point decision, but it's a close fight.
It's a close fight, yeah. Well, I think he'll do enough to win the round, so he'll skip the rounds, but they'll be close rounds.
Then after that, he's got some big fights after that. Huge fights. So...
And super featherweight's one of the good hot divisions, isn't it? But we need to do
Really
at some
hot.
point when there's a fight.
Really, really hot.
Yeah. There's some good fighters in there.
Caballero Sanchez. Wow.
Well, I think we both agreed that the winner of them then is in that conversation at the top of the other people we've mentioned before in previous videos. Gone. You can't have a draw on this one. We got to pick a winner.
Can't be Switzerland.
No, you can't be Switzerland. We need to
You know
pick
what?
our side.
I'm a fan of Caballero.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go with Caballero. I think he's got really good boxing skills. Caballero's got a good boxing brain.
Points or knockout?
Oh, God, you want that as well?
What's second in what round?
I think Caballero does a... Oh, them Cubans are tricky though, aren't they?
Yeah. No, both of them are really good boxers. The skill-wise, they're both very good. They haven't been beaten, so we don't know how to react to that or what. But, I think both of them are very impressive.
I don't know. Caballero... I think Caballero's take over the fight in the latter rounds. Does he stop Sanchez? It's hard to stop them Cubans.
Mm-hmm.
No points.
Points for Caballero.
Yeah.
I want to go points for Sanchez then. Because I don't think either of them get knocked out. But I think...
It's hard, isn't it?
Because the Cuban can box as well. Sanchez can box as well. And I think he may have if he doesn't get knocked out, I think he's got enough
both got really
to
good amateur records,
Yeah. They're both proper schooled boxers. You could see that in the way they perform, isn't it? I mean, I know Sanchez definitely has. I would suspect Caballero, because who was talking about him after? He said, yeah, he's got a good record as well. After the Makhmedov fight.
Yeah, Frank Sanchez's amateur record is 214 wins and 6 losses.
Yeah, he can box.
Cuban national champion, and he was a world champion.
Yeah. And Caballero. Yeah, the Cubans normally, isn't it? Cuban school of boxing is good, and he's quite good at the Cubans. Skilled in the Cubans' way of boxing.
How do you spell his first name?
Agit, I think Agit, or Agit. I think that's his name. Agit Caballero.
Amateur record.
It's Frank Sanchez, if you want to know his first name. I can do that one.
Amateur record. Doesn't really say much about his amateur record. Twice European champion, though.
Well, I think we can say he can box. So both of them can box. I think, the Cubans normally have quite a good amateur pedigree. So Sanchez definitely has that.
Yeah.
Is it going to change your mind, or are you sticking?
No, it's not going to change my mind.
I'll have Sanchez
I'm
on
sticking.
points then. I don't think we need to do any of the fights in it. So I'm going to have Sanchez on points. You're have
Sanchez, Caballero. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, watch that fight, everyone, honestly, because it's going to be a really, really good fight.
It should be. They're two very, very capable fight. That's as exciting as...
Yeah, we should have a 5v5.
We should do one.
To find out who the best is at predicting fights.
Well, we're going to do 4 on this one. So we've got Sanchez and Caballero. So I've got Sanchez by points. You've got Caballero by points.
Yeah.
Cordina, we both agree. That's, I think, I'm not going to go the other way. I think Cordina by points, but a close fight, but maybe wider on rounds. Opetaia, Briedis, we've both gone with Opetaia. Points.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Fury Usyk, you've got a draw, and I've got
only because
Usyk to win by knockout.
Well, I think what we'll do is on the 5v5, and obviously the 6 fights.
Well, the 6 fights and that.
6
we can
fights
do a
on
6v6.
So what we'll do is we will write down the 6 results that we think are going to happen in an envelope. You write yours, I'll write mine, and we'll see who comes closest. And we'll do it secretly, so they stay in the envelope.
Okay, we'll put them on here.
Yeah.
Leave them.
But no, this...
Well, we're going to say, because we're going to review all the fights, so we'll say our review.
I might even change my mind again. No, it's going to be a great night of boxing. With boxing over the next, like, I know we keep saying it, next few months is just...
Oh, May is fantastic. And then we've got June now is filling up in July. I think they've got like Shakur's retired, but he's got a fight book.
Yeah.
And then there's the crossover, Bull Tyson versus Mr. Paul.
But on the undercard of that is Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano 2, the rematch.
So, yeah.
Which apparently Katie Taylor is getting paid mega bucks for. And that's going to be on Netflix.
Oh, it's a Netflix fight. Oh, so they're getting it on there as well.
I was listening to an interview with Eddie Hearn yesterday. It's not going to be on the Zone. It's Netflix have like paid massive money apparently. So that the Katie Taylor Serrano fight kind of saves that card, if you like,
so we can make a video on it now.
Yeah, because although women's boxing, which I am a huge fan of, that and that Katie Taylor Serrano fight's going to be amazing.
They're both very good.
And then we have, like you say, the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Well, it's gone from a fight to exhibition, and now they're saying that Jake Paul wants to get it back into a proper match. Do you think that's advisable? Well, we'll do that for another video. Yeah, I don't think that's the most advisable.
Mike Tyson ain't going to do an exhibition, I'm telling you now.
Yeah, whichever way it goes round, it's going to be. So we'll be doing one on there. And then who else do we see? There's somebody else in July as well.
There's loads.
And, well,
Bam Bam's back as well.
Bam Bam's fighting. But yeah, I think that this May is packed, and we've, I think once we check the Catrol and date, we'll do a video on that. But just to make sure it's going ahead and the injuries are healed. So that'll be May closed up, because they're supposed to be the end of May. And then I think we've got, and then we'll be doing June ones. And then obviously June starts with Bivol Beterbiev and the 5v5. So we'll do that as a 6v6.
And like I say, it's just the best time.
Well, I think the Saudi part has given them a kick up the backside race to, an injection to get everybody doing it now. So we've got everybody doing the streaming and pay-per-views and building some of the fights. I was actually looking at a thing. There's I didn't think, but PBC has the most world champions at this moment in time, doesn't they? And then Al Heyman's, what's his, not the other guy, the old guy who has...
Bob Arum.
Bob Arum
Top
has
rank.
Top rank have the second most, I think. Golden Boy, the ones who are straggling behind. Matchroom has a fair few.
Again, that could all change soon. Could all change.
But yeah, I think the 5v5 and the 6v6 on that is just mouth-watering, that contest. And there's 4 at least. Well, I mean, there's other fights on here, but Kovalev, Safar, I'm not that interested.
No,
they're just warm-ups, isn't it? The other 3 fights are sort of warm-ups. But yeah, Eva Sanchez Caballel, fantastic fight. Cordina Khakachi, world title fight. Potentially really good fight.
Caballel Sanchez, it's a shame it's so low down on the card, to be honest.
Well, it's not a title, isn't it? Otherwise, I think it'd be third. Yeah. And then, Opetaia Briedis, because it's world title and, 2 really good champions. And then obviously the main event is undisputed heavyweight. So it's quite hard to be, But yeah, I think that's epic. And it gets better with the next one, isn't it? Which is like I said.
Just quickly, 6v6. Have you seen all the promo videos for the 5v5?
No, I haven't.
Watch the promo videos. I think they've spent millions on the promo video. They've all flew out to like Bulgaria, and it's all properly like Hollywood style filming. Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are there. It's absolutely
I need to catch up on it, isn't it? The Ring of Fire stuff, the promotions are really brilliant.
Yeah, honestly, got the money he's spending on. I mean, it's absolute. And
that's why I read this article, and you're looking at it and thinking, wait a minute, it's not being promoted. What do you mean? It's somebody obviously doesn't like boxing or doesn't know anything about boxing making that comment, which a lot of journalists do. They don't actually watch the fights or do anything or watch the matches. They just write an article
Some fights don't need promotion.
Yeah. it's undisputed heavyweight title of two
Usyk
of the
Fury does not
finest
need promoting.
heavyweights of a long. It's basically the winner's the best fighter of this generation.
I think it's on the Zone, Sky Sports, TNT.
Well, I think US it's ESPN, and I think it's a DAZN pay-per-view here. I don't know if it's on like
Sky Sports or something.
I think the 5v5 will be on both because that'll be both. I think these guys, because they're both DAZN people.
Be interesting to see what price point they put on these pay-per-views now.
Well, as long as not the US prices.
But they were saying that they could start doing like these 5v5s with British and domestic, and maybe put them at a low point box office price, like $2.99 or something. So we're getting 50-50 fights all the time.
Well, I think if you're getting like 4 or 5 really good fights, or saying that 5v5, 5 good fights of different types, where there's people contending, then I don't think I'd have an issue paying that much.
No.
£5 even, it's like £1 a fight, really, and you watch, and it's like in a main event for a bit. You pay way more for most of the things, and you can be disappointed. Yeah,
but I'm glad that these talks with Queensberry and Matchroom, they're talking about doing these 5v5s at, I say, lower levels. So it all sounds good. It really, really does sound so promising.
Well, I think it needed a shake-up in the format of the things. Yeah. Where, like you said, you could have some of these Vegas ones where there's just one fight and everything else is really...
rubbish.
Yeah. And I think it has got better because, like, we watched on the...
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, the money is because it's coming from the Saudis.
Well, I think the other one, everybody else is picking up a bit on it and realising that you need to put better fights on. There's plenty of fighters. Give them a chance to showcase their skills. If people don't know him, like Cabell, you knew him a little bit. I didn't know who he was. Now I'm like, well, yeah, I want to watch this fight.
Yeah.
I mean, Sanchez I knew a little bit before, but anyway, it was a good performance. Now you're making a fight between him and it's like, if ordinarily I wouldn't have known who they are. We'd have just been Opetaia, Briedis, or whatever. Cordina we would have known, but Opetaia, Briedis and Usyk. And now you're looking down and going, there's 4 good fights there at least. Yes. I mean, there's probably other good fights, but...
I watched the whole card, to be honest. I mean, I know Kovlev's on there.
If we don't get the time mixed up again.
Yeah, but I will watch. I'll watch the whole event.
Yeah. Well, Kovlev's going to be good, but I like they're just they're warm up. But then you've got 4 really good.
Yeah, great fights.
Where you're really interested, but there's like 7 fights worth warming up to.
Yeah, can't wait for it.
So you sticking with those predictions?
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right. Tell us what you think. Like, subscribe, make some comments on what you do. What we've said. What else you'd like to see?
Where do you think we're wrong?
Yeah, on everything. Yeah. That's easy. Everything. That's too easy in a question to answer. Where are we wrong? Everything. Where do you think we're right? That's the question
that'd be
to answer. What do you think of our predictions? What do you think of the how we've said? Let us know in the comments. And then like, subscribe, and then we'll be back with some other, like we said, there's lots of good upcoming stuff. So we will be back with that.
Yeah.
And we'll do a 6v6 for that fight
idea.
for June. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks
See you
very
in the next one. Take care.